Hi, good morning. I'm not sure where to look because I have my phone upside down. It's Friday, it's Halloween. I think I look, yeah, down here. I'll try to remember that. Happy Halloween. I keep I keep forgetting. I don't do holidays anymore, really. I mean, I participate when invited, but I don't initiate. So this morning I'm out buying groceries and I go into the store right behind this woman who's in this elaborate gown. It's like ornate with embroidery and it looks very witchy, but not like overt witch. It just looks like high collar, maroon shimmer, like satiny shimmer, long sleeves past like the hands, like one piece down to the floor. It was just like beautiful. And I was like, wow, I love your outfit. And she laughed and said, thank you. And then I realized I looked around the store, like when I looked, one of the baggers, this girl had like puppy dog makeup written, like she made herself into a puppy dog. And I was like, no wonder this woman's laughing at me when I said outfit instead of costume. And I was like, now it makes sense. She's actually dressed up for Halloween. Oh my God. So anyway, that's how my day started off. Nice and fun. I love making fun of myself. Okay, so happy Halloween. Let's do something simple. I have a spot on my glasses. Spot. Let's just start with 2 cards and see what energy we can tap into and pull some insights from today. Thank you for being here. We have the 8 of Cups. I should show that longer in 1 second. The 8 of Cups. And then the challenge area is the 9 of Pentacles. That's interesting. This feels like, let's just noodle around. What this feels like to me is there's like this is how I am reading them. This is maybe the primary energy, and this is kind of what's challenging it, and that, or they're challenging each other in some way. This is a card of not settling for less. You're kind of walking away from the status quo to seek a larger emotional fulfillment, bigger, broader, more like deeper, whatever that expansive emotional fulfillment feeling is for you. It's challenged by like, well, I'm pretty comfortable and usually like pretty grateful for what I have. So that might be keeping you, us, I could speak for myself too, like from pushing myself to go deeper into like, what do I really want? Because I feel like through conditioning, through our culture, through our families, like this whole like, why should we strive for more when you've got so much already in the way of like, you've got a happy life, right? Pretty content. Like I could keep going as things are, but something is calling us to go deeper. And it might be some emotional depth we're seeking. Maybe this is surface level. That's what it feels like. It's like surface level. On the surface, everything looks good. I have a job. I can pay my bills, usually, whatever that is. And so I just keep doing the same old thing, perhaps. I have my routines. Everything's really comfortable. I have my hobbies. And yet, something's calling us to go deeper, like to open that emotional heart space, to feel more, to be our biggest, boldest, deepest, flowiest version of ourselves, where this is like, yeah, but I'm pretty good on the surface and I do my things and I have my life. And yet at the end of the day, you're just still something in there's like, there's got to be more. There's got to be more to this life. And so this is us venturing out, finally saying, I'm not settling for good enough. Good enough. I am heading out to see what that is. And it's really not a heading out. It's usually a heading inward. So we'll see what comes up with going a little deeper. I'll still use these cards to just draw three more. We have the 10 of Swords, Ace of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. I'm laughing because I know I've said this so many times. I'm not making it up. When I sat down to do the reading and I sort of like closed my eyes, I'm trying to get like anti-verbal with like asking for things. I just like want to drop into a space without using words or setting an intention verbally in the mind. You know, like I'm all about words. So I'm like trying to get to that pre-verbal spot of just feeling more and more and more. And when I dropped into that space and was holding these cards, and I even sometimes put them up here just to sort of feel them and like, So the 8 of Wands popped into my mind. And I was just like, oh, that's weird. But I like it. I like what the 8 of Wands has to say. I like all the cards. But anyway, sorry if that was loud. That just cracks me up. Here we are with the 8 of Wands. So we have the 10 of Swords, which is this like at death's door. Like, but there's a new day on the right. Like tomorrow's a new day. And I don't have to take with me all of it's like a turning point because it's almost like hitting your bottom, hitting your rock bottom, hitting your breaking point, your burnout, enough's enough, whatever that is for you. It doesn't even have to be dramatic. It could just be like, I'm just kind of bored with my routines. It's time to shake stuff up. Whatever that is for you. This makes it seem pretty dramatic. The other thing about this card is that this person who's like got 10 swords stuck in their back, yet they're looking at a new, like all this darkness is fading away and a new day is coming in. And they're looking out there saying, I am thankful for everything in my life that's happened up to this point because it's made me who I am. And I'm ready for my next chapter to begin. I'm putting all of this to rest. It's almost like when you've tried over and over to make a change, but you're just like, you weren't like all in, and then you shame yourself for like not being all in and like continuing to repeat the same bad behaviors or patterns, whatever. And this one's like, this is the real end, and a new change is coming. Okay. This Ace of Cups is the beginning. It's like aces are new and they're almost like divine gifts. They're dropped out of the sky. So when I think this new day is coming, it's like a new emotional opening. And I say emotional, but it's really a heart-based opening, a real like body embodied, like, what do I want to call it? It's not of the mind, and it's a feeling, and I'm sure you felt it in your life where you're just like, yes, it's the big heart, yes, opening, where you might look at something and you actually feel tears welling up in your eyes and you're like, oh my God, I haven't been this close to my feeling body, my emotions to come this close to the surface, and I don't remember how long. Because I've just been la 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 la, like not really tapping into my depths. This is where you hit that breaking point, or that, yes, change is now. And then things start, look, it's like overflowing. Things are coming to the surface to be seen, to be felt, to be dealt with too. I mean, there might be some hard things to look at, but this is saying you're ready for that. Because you don't just want surface level stuff anymore. The pretending that, and you know what I think is fascinating is when each of us are on our own journey, whatever you want to call it, So we can't even know that while we are in this state of like, yeah, I'm perfectly content. I've got no real problems, and the problems I have, whatever, everybody's got them. La la la, surface, surface, right? I'm not looking too deep for whatever reason. And when we're in this state, we don't even know there's a possibility for more, or we don't know what it would look like. We don't know what it would feel like a lot of times. We might have this deep undercurrent of like, there's gotta be more, but it's kind of deep. So we don't think about, here's what it would feel like to move into that. This starts coming up and you're like, oh, that's what it feels like. And you're like, I want more. And this is like, okay, everything is about this. All of your energy is pointing in that direction. And it's swift and it's vibrant, as in electrifying, as in I'm not settling for less. These are both cards of like, I'm going in my new direction and things are going to start to happen quickly, and I'm not settling for going backwards. Like, look, you don't even see that person's face. Their back is to us. They're just like, see ya. I'm off to find what it is that will keep opening. This is just the first step on that 8 of Cups journey. First cup, we're going to 8, where you see, and 8s are like in numerology of abundance. That's where this is going to lead to even more, because all of your energy is going in that direction. This is beautiful. It's a turning point, which this may not feel beautiful, hitting the rock bottom, but you know what's kind of fun about it? Like, right, there's a point, there's like a tipping point, I feel like. Have you felt this? If you've gone past the tipping point, there might be so much just, or it may, however dramatic it is for you, whether it's just, somebody said the word ennui the other day in a podcast, and I was like, oh, I don't get to hear that much. The ennui of life, just the like little bit of dissatisfaction, you know, like the same old feeling. You know, it might be just that, or it might be like, I am seriously depressed and I'm tired of being depressed, and maybe my medication's not working, or maybe I don't want to go on medication, or whatever it is. It could be really dramatic, as in big, overwhelming, crushing, or it could just be like, I'm a little dissatisfied. I think there's more. Whatever it is for you, have you ever felt like that tipping point where you're just so close to being done, but you really, there's like this, you almost don't believe there's a different way to feel, but yet something urges you forward into that complete state of letting go. I don't want to say surrender, because that comes with baggage. Like, what is that? But I know that over time, all my cycles of trying to do this myself and trying to figure out what this is and how to feel different, and I still haven't figured it out, then there's finally like an effort moment of just whatever that is, of I give up, I let go, I surrender, I offer it up, I pray, I ask for help. Whatever that, like, I obviously can't do this because I haven't been doing it. Maybe there's something else that can help me. It almost is like an asking for help, because all of those letting go, surrender, offering up, praying, they're all forms of like, this hasn't been doing it. Maybe something else can help. So then that feels like a tipping point where it's like, that's the asking for help moment. And that's when help comes. It gives you the oomph to keep going. Everything's going in this direction, and you keep going until you find your way. And it's not a point on it's not at like a destination. What this turns out to be is the enjoyment of the journey itself. It feels like this is the point where you realize nothing I think I want in the way of achievement is actually what is going to give me the true satisfaction, not the surface level. Oh, I just need to surrender into the journey itself and allow myself to be surprised at every twist and turn, and not have to stake a flag in it and say, yes, this is this and that is that, and I'm at this point, and this is what I feel like I've achieved, and this is what I want to do next. It's almost like getting into a complete flow state in life, and that's why the cups are showing up. It's about being embodied in your journey, meaning I am feeling all the feels instead of thinking and planning and strategizing where I'm going and what I'm getting out of it. It's like just observing. It's really observing with curiosity everything and feeling that resonate in the body. And then you take the next step and the next step. And I feel like I heard a great quote recently, like yesterday recently, of like, man, I won't do it justice, but it was just that, and maybe that's why it's in my mind with these cards, is the circuitous, yeah, I won't remember the quote at all, but the gist is just that. We think we're going here, like it's a straight line from A to Z. Yet when we get to that destination, the door's locked, or, it's like, it's not opening for us in the way that we expected it to. It's not anything like we imagined. Or maybe we just can never get there. We get almost all the way, and then there's still something like blocking us from what we thought we really wanted. It could be the career, like the next job, the partner you keep searching for, and all the relationships are just like, okay, let's start over. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. If we let go of that surrender moment, then the journey can be whatever it is meant to be, because you're feeling into it. You're following curiosity. Ooh, what lights me up every step of the way? Let's go that direction, that direction. And these other doors are opening all over the place. Or the door that you were meant to go through all along that you would have never seen had you not just like let go of the reins a little bit, the reins of the mind, trying to figure stuff out. What's it like just to let go and stop trying so hard? I talked with a client last week, and they are just the sweetest thing. And there was this moment of trying to figure stuff out with the mind, and like the word, I always for some reason clue into words, like the word try kept coming out of their mouth. Try. And me always wanting to apply like opposite energy to something to see what might shift and change the trajectory. I kind of threw in the word like, what about the word allow? Instead of try, right? And that's that whole, the energy of the word try is like doing. There's a vision of what I have, and by using the word try, it means I don't think I'm there yet, but if there's something I can do, then I will put forth an effort in that direction to get to that somewhere point. But then the word allow kind of takes a little bit opposite meaning or energy. That's just like, that's that letting go, the surrender, that let things be as they are. And like I said last week in one of my videos, like this whole that I heard on a podcast. I love podcasts. They break my mind like free. And this was about setting things free. And the word allow just sets things free to be as they are. And that's what this journey feels like. This whole like, this is where I've gotten to, yet I still feel like it's not. What if I hit that breaking point, that tipping point of like, well, trying isn't getting me there. What if I just allow things to be just as they are? It is such a magical thing, that tipping point from try to allow. Oh, okay. Enough of that. I think you get the point. That's like, I think that's what I'll name this little video. From try to allow things to be just as they are. All right. Why am I shuffling these? What do we want to know about? I kind of have a little bit more time before my appointment. So what am I curious about? What are you curious about? Always follow the curiosities. So I am curious a little bit about this Eight of Wands. Let's get some more nuance for what this energy is asking of us. This putting all your energy in one direction, all your energy is going in one direction. You're now following this pathless path, fully embodied. Give us some more nuance about that. Like, what is it asking of us? What does it want us to recognize? What challenges might exist? Four of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Knight of Swords. I just love this. Okay, first of all, these are the beautiful cards. So we have the Four of Pentacles. This card is all about, look at how she's clutching her purse. This is questioning, what is your sense of security and groundedness in all of this? This might be asking, when I first pulled the cards, what came to me was like, this is asking us, because we have the Queen of Cups next, which look at her state of surrender she's in. It is beautiful. She's all water. I love that that's showing up when we get the Eight of Cups is us going off to keep opening up that water, that flow, that engagement with life, the stuff of life. Ace of Cups is the first opening after that tipping point. Then we get into the flow state. This is asking us to completely surrender this, whatever our preconceptions and usually misconceptions of security and safety and like what stability. Let's change the word to stability, because this is all about getting a little unstable. As in, we have a perceived stability of like, I think I know what I like and what my world should look like in my daily life and blah, 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 blah. But we know we're giving that up. We're going over the edge, the tipping point. So we've got to give up those ideas, right? That's the going from try to allow. Like, just allow, like, what can come in? What can we discover about ourselves in this space that opens up when we allow, when we just stop trying so hard to imagine what we want. We don't know what we want. That's what that quote was about. It was about moving from the knowing what we want and where we're going to becoming the explorer and the discoverer of our journey, not the decider of our path, not the knower of our path, but the discoverer of our journey, not even the traveler of our journey. Traveler kind of makes you think, oh, I have an itinerary, I have a map. No, it's like discovering your journey. Oh, I got chills. Discover your journey. And I think you do that by going from try to allow. Trying is like, okay, I got to get the map. I got to get the itinerary. And then like discovering is like, don't you love the word discover? Oh, okay. So this, how we got to give that up. Surrender up stability, because you're becoming an explorer, right? Not just a traveler with an itinerary. You're an explorer. Explorers have that. Oh, I got chills again. They have that, like, I'm setting out. I'm throwing myself out there to discover what awaits and explore. Explore. I love that word too. Oh, so the Knight of Swords, look at how like they're off and running. This reminds me of the Eight of Wands, but these are bookends. When I do a clarification, these are bookends. So what this is saying to me is this is the primary energy we want on this. All energies in one direction. It's an energy of surrender. It's a complete allowing. It's a complete discovery of what happens in the space. That's where I was going before. In the space, when you surrender other things up, you release them to be free. Well, what can come in its space, right? Discovery. We're going to discover our journey. These are just little warnings along the way, because that's what we asked about, what might be challenges. Our sense of stability. It's rooted so deep within us. We might think, yeah, but what about like my personality, who I am, my friends? Like, even if it's not a journey of like, oh, what about getting a new job or giving up a job that I thought I needed for financial stability? You know, whatever it is for you. That sense of stability. In love, what if I leave this relationship that I know is not great for me or even for them? You could set, it's like setting the other person free too. You know, if you're not invested, we won't even go there. And then the Knight of Swords is the other little warning. Like, when you're off and running, keep aware of what's happening up here, because swords are all mental. So it's like, if we're all up in our head, it's moving too quickly, we got to get back into the body. So sometimes when we say, yes, that's the direction, now that we've got this heart opening, it's like a honeymoon period of like, oh yes, I'm feeling a new way to feel. Sometimes the brain or the mind takes over and is like supercharged. Remember to stay grounded, whatever that means, in the flow. So it's like, keep coming back to the body. I like to make things practical. What I think about that is a lot of space, a lot of pausing to feel into your own inner truth of like, when I'm in a moment of surrender and everything starts to flow, and then you're in a flow with life, and then something catches like your curiosity, and if it's a new feeling, you might think, yes, that's the answer, like this one thing, and then you're off and running toward that thing. It's like, no, there are so many possibilities waiting for you to explore, to discover, and then explore in depths. This feels like a warning that says, don't just leap for the first thing that feels good. Take time to feel into it and say, how does this resonate? Is this aligned with, like, what's my inner, do I have an inner yes? Or is it just like a shiny new toy? There's nothing wrong with a shiny new toy. Explore it till you're no longer interested. This just feels like, don't make the whole journey about, oh, now I found the answer, done. That's what I want to say. Because it's about discovering the whole path for the rest of your life. That's what this is a whole life way of being. Not just your next stop. Okay. So that's that. Any questions? Any thoughts? Drop me a line, or if you want to do a one-on-one reading, I always forget to say that, I think. So just reach out. I'll have a link in the description. Yeah, I wish you all the best. We could keep going with this one because I do have other curiosities, especially about the Knight of Swords, because the mind does mind things. I feel like what also wants to be said is trust yourself. And I think that comes from when we're part of this is we might clutch to things that have worked for us because they've worked for us, and we don't know what letting go and allowing other possibilities to come in might do. This says, trust yourself to know that when you're in a state of complete flow, the answer arises from within, in the moment you need it, in the way that you need it, and to trust it. Because this gets in the way and says, I don't know about that. Are you sure? Because XYZ could go wrong, and then you're in la la la, and then you're right back to this. So that's what I want to say. Trust but first make sure you're in this state and trust what comes up. Also trust the peace, the what's not coming up. Trust that. That's maybe even a bigger lesson. Trust what's not coming into here to distract. Trust the peace that comes up and sit in it and enjoy it. Okay, that's all. I hope you have a happy Halloween and a good weekend. Thank you for being here.